Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, and more. And of course, my free subscribe YouTube channel where you will get all 533 shows over 489 consecutive weeks. But who's counting? I'm delighted to continue to splatter more hope and happiness on you. Try to get you to drink my rose-colored Kool-Aid so you can stay as positive and happy 88% of the time, because I'm on a mission. 88 million people more happy in the next 8 years. And today is September 17th, and I just had to run to the bathroom to put on bright pink lipstick because today is Bright Pink Lipstick Day, believe it or not. It is also National Professional House Cleaners Day. So thank you to Miley, who does a terrific job. I am allergic to cleaning. Actually, if there was one thing, I love most of the things I get to do in life, but cleaning is not one of them. Camping and cleaning, two bad C words. But thank you for always making my home just beautiful as well. It is National Apple Dumpling Day. If you've not tried an apple dumpling, I have to say I've not. So that's something new. I love doing new things. So I will go and try that. And it is National Constitution Day and Citizenship Day. So I am so grateful to be a U.S. citizen. I also was very happy with the no on recall here on Canada vote that came out. Oh, sorry. No on recall in California. Forgot where I was for a second, but I was born in Canada and I became an American by choice, was the first group that was coronated or citizenized in Los Angeles back right after 9/11 happened. So it is full circle here between my tribute to 9/11 20 years later, last Friday, as well as the Citizenship Day today, and the voting and the absolute privilege we have to live in a democratic country that allows for voting. So that's all full circle. I am going to continue with my focus on managing your own mental health. And I just want to qualify, it's not saying that you don't need experts to help you with that. Absolutely. We don't try to fix our own car. We go to the mechanic. But I do know from personal experience and with talking to my coaching clients that sometimes some of the feelings that we have that make us feel bad, especially when they are conditional upon what's going on around us, can actually be changed if we put our mind and hearts to it. And those are the tools that I've been giving you to answer the question of the day, or question of the week, month, and maybe even the rest of this year because of the pandemic. How can I feel better right now? And this week, I've been focusing on perfectionism as something that absolutely can steal away our happiness. If you are a perfectionist and are very constantly on edge because not enough is being done, or I can't be happy until this is completed or that, then go back and listen to that show. because it is so important that we choose whether we are comforted or soothed by the thoughts that we have. So I went to my book for another tool, another Happy 88 tool. This is out of 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And by the way, I did not write this book as a psychologist telling you how to be happy. I actually wrote this book as one of the 7 out of 10 of us who have had childhood trauma. And that's why this book has been so well received. And I so appreciate all the people. I went and got my hair done yesterday with my fabulous stylist, Jerome, who did my hair for the book cover, and the beautiful new receptionist, Bella. I left the book with her and she made it almost halfway through because it is so relatable to all those things that we feel that we make us think that there's something wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with us. If you're not feeling good about yourself, it is a direct result of carrying all those messages that we got when we were kids that made us think that there was something wrong with us. There's nothing wrong with us. If we're the majority that had some kind of pain and hurt growing up, then there's got to be a reason for that pain and hurt. And oftentimes we take that pain and hurt and bring it into our present and spew it into our future. So I'm asking you right now to consider this tool called Finding the Polish in the Rub. So if you're a perfectionist and you get criticized, and it's one of those 24 checklist things, if you hate criticism, chances are you might be a perfectionist, because we don't like being told that we did something wrong or said something wrong, or that we're not seen in the perfect light that we think we are, or we don't think we are, we strive to be. And the downside of striving to be perfect is you will fail every time, because as human beings, we cannot be perfect. It's not possible to be perfect. And so it's always going to be one down, never going to happen. And so we're on that hamster wheel constantly trying to be perfect. So when we do get criticized, we may not like it, but what I have found that when I do get an insult or somebody writes something negative on my YouTube, which happens, or on my social media, and it only happens because I put myself out there and I'm proud of myself for actually daring and risking to be who I am. So as a direct result of that, sometimes I get insults or criticism. And Finding the Polish in the Rub is a tool that looks at, is there a silver lining even when you get criticized? Is there something that you can learn through that criticism that will help you be the best that you can be? I'm not going to say a better person, because you are fabulous. Every one of us does the very best that we can with the time that we have and the resources that we have. And when we do that, we sometimes don't recognize it. So how can I feel better right now if I'm a perfectionist and I get an insult, or someone says something or does something mean to me? I can sit there and, of course, take the breath. Don't react, because when you react from anger, what is that statistic? You lose 5 to 10 IQ points the longer you're angry in reaction to something. So whatever you're going to say is probably not going to be the brightest crayon in the box thing, and you'll probably have to apologize for it. I really, when I get mad, the best thing I can do is never miss the opportunity to keep my mouth shut. So from that place, I will often say, or I try to say, let me get back to you on that, instead of reacting. And then I'll go to my corner. And in my corner, I will let myself feel sad for the hurt. I will let myself get mad for the insult. I will try to avoid writing an email or a text back saying, if I look like you, I'd be miserable too. You don't want to do that. But I look for the polish in the rub. And that just says, is there something that I can take away from that criticism that might make me stronger, wiser, clearer? Is there some value to what was said? And it's a question that I get asked actually quite a lot by my coaching clients. When do I actually pay attention to negative feedback? And my advice that I actually do use is, if I get 3 of the same things said to me by 3 different people, and usually they love me, so well-meaning people get bonus points, and you actually can facilitate this by asking them, I try to be the best person that I can, but sometimes I have some blind spots that I don't know what I'm doing that downgrade my effectiveness. Can you let me know what they are? This is a tool that I give my executive coaching clients and organizations, leadership, who sometimes just don't know. And that rule usually allows me then to sift through mean-spirited things, well-meaning people who sometimes are more mean than well, and get right to that baseline. Maybe I don't always need to say what's on my mind. So if 3 people say you're super opinionated, or sometimes you're too opinionated for your own good, that's something I can look at. Maybe I don't need to react to every single thing. If you've been given the feedback that you're too opinionated, then maybe don't respond to everything, but maybe every 5th thing you can offer your opinion on. So you literally count. No, I'm not going to say anything to that. 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one you can actually say something. Make sure it's not your boss and telling them off. That's probably a little dangerous. But this is a way that we can take things that we don't like criticism and feedback, and actually find the polish in the thing that rubbed us the wrong way. All right. So there's your tool, your Happy 88 tool today, to help make you feel better now. And that's it for my What's Up Doc question of the day section. When we come back, I'm going to share a couple of interviews with you. First, I'm going to go to my red carpet playlist from my YouTube channel and bring out a couple of interviews that are on top of my popularity list. And those 2 are Halle Berry, the beautiful Inside and Out Halle Berry, as well as Larry Wilcox. And you'll remember him from Chips and more. So those 2 will be after the first break. And then, because it is her birthday, Jewell, who is the first person with a disability to break into major network TV on a show in the 80s, the fabulous, iconic Facts of Life. And then most recently, the celebrated award-winning American Western television series on HBO, Deadwood. So don't go away. We'll be right back with more of Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa on NBC News Radio, KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. And I'm so delighted to let you know that you are tuned into the #1 talk news station in the Inland Empire, and being heard in over 100 nations, streaming, as well as on Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. And of course, my YouTube channel, where I have great interviews on the red carpet. And I thought it would be fun, since it's Friday, that I show you two of my most popular interviews so you can enjoy. Larry Wilcox, those of you who are Chips fans, and then with the beautiful Inside and Out, Halle Berry. So enjoy.
Good evening, this is Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah, and I'm reporting live from the red carpet of the Egyptian Theater at the premiere of Wish Man the movie. And you know, Frank's been on my show, and I have here probably someone that I want to ask to come on my show for this year. Here's Eric Estrada's partner from Chips, and I've also had Mrs. C from Happy Days, and I've had Corey Feldman, and I've had Marianne from Gilligan's Island. I'm not dating you. No. I'm not calling you old, but because we're ageless, right. And this is beautiful woman is the wife. So
yes.
How do you feel tonight, watching your husband come back to the carpet?
Well, I'm proud of him, and I think that he's standing for a great cause. For the Make-A-Wish is an amazing, amazing cause,
yes,
and it's a wonderful story, a humanitarian story, and we need more people like that in this world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Proud of your dad?
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't seen him act since I was like a little kid, so excited to see the old man again back on screen. So
he just called you an old man.
I know.
You're losing your allowance.
Yeah, right.
How does it feel? Do you miss Hollywood?
No. I mean, I produced for a long time. I produced an award-winning television series called Ray Bradbury Theater for HBO.
Oh.
And then I directed, but mostly technology now, although I must say I just finished writing and presenting a new television series that I would host and produce. So we'll see what happens.
And you're not allowed to say the name, but it is about motorcycles.
Yes, that's right. You're very insightful. You are.
Wow.
And if I get you on the show, you will tell us then, because it should be, out then, right?
That's right.
So you're an actor. What advice do you have to aspiring actors who, I don't know, did you ever want to do it?
I mean, potentially. It's never really been in my mind, but if it's out there, if the opportunity's there, then yeah, maybe.
You've got a great role model. Yeah.
So my advice is, like my son, who just graduated from Texas Christian University in supply chain management, I would say get an education first,
Yeah.
And if you want to do it concurrently, where you're actually studying acting and literature, so you understand story development,
right.
That would be great. And then after that, you take acting lessons, shoot films, do scenes with your buddies, and throw it in there. And if you get a job, great. And if you don't, it is what it is.
Yeah. What do you miss the most about the way things used to be versus they are now?
I think there's two things. I think that you get to leverage your celebrity and or identity if you're gracious and humble about it in a really successful way. And that opens up a lot of doors. And then number two is, it's easy money.
That just almost sounded like opposite to the number one.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad to have met you, and I look forward to having you on my show. I think I have a show that balances out all the bad news with the good news.
Yeah.
And so there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kardashian talk at all.
Okay.
So I think you would be a perfect guest to come on to share your limelight with those less fortunate in things that need attention.
Okay.
Yes?
We'll do it.
So at the end of every show, I do this. Everybody do this. It's peace in, peace out.
Peace out.
That's world peace through inner peace. Yes? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So nice.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah, reporting live here from the beautiful USC building at the City Gala Summit and Gala event. And I have the most beautiful Halle Berry here with me. And I am so honored to be able to have a couple of minutes with you. And so my very first question is, if you take a breath and think back over all your past life in this lifetime, what is your favorite memory? What is your favorite life memory that just sort of makes you feel good?
The births of my children.
The births of your children?
No question.
Yeah, and you have two?
I have two.
And their names are?
Nala and Maceo, and they're 9 and 3.
Beautiful. And what do they, what happens to your heart when you're with them?
It expands. My heart grows day after day after day. When I think I can't love 2 little people more, I wake up the next day and I love them more.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, what do you do when people criticize you? Like when they actually say things, what happens and how do you get yourself out of that?
I just pretend I never heard it. And keep it moving. That's where I'm at this point in life.
Yeah.
Hear that and keep going. I learned not to let anyone's real criticism of me sort of stop my flow. I'm open to constructive criticism because I always want to learn and grow. But sometimes there's criticism that feels mean in nature and in spirit, and that kind of criticism I just like a duck. I let it roll off.
Right. Do you have like a little process that you use that when you wake up and you're not feeling really good? I have a lot of listeners who, they want to be positive, they want to feel good, but sometimes they just feel bad, and that critic in the head is going. What do you do?
I have a little affirmation book that I keep usually by my bed. I often read different affirmations either before I go to bed to have that on my mind, or I wake up and read something really positive. A lot of things from the Dalai Lama.
I love the Dalai Lama.
Those kind of spiritual little snippets sort of are a good way to start the day, I find.
That's beautiful. Have you ever heard of Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith?
Yes.
From Agape?
Absolutely.
He says hello, and he had a dream about you just before I was told that I got to interview.
Really?
Is that weird?
Wow.
Wow. Exactly. Well, that'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, when you are going about your day and whatever you're doing, do you have like a life motto that you use like mine's don't die wondering? So what do you do?
If you're going through hell, keep going. That's
beautiful.
mine.
Beautiful. That is really beautiful. So do you have any favorite people on the planet that you would like to meet, if I can get them on the show and have you on at the same time? Anybody that you haven't met that you'd like to meet?
That are alive? What I really like to meet? I would probably love to meet. I've met a lot of people. I've been lucky enough in my life to meet a lot of people that I've dreamed of meeting.
Yeah. I could throw who's cute that you would like to meet.
As in a man?
Or you're not going there?
I better stay away from that question.
Yeah, I could say you heard it here first.
Yeah. I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of people that I really, that have been role models of mine or icons in their industry. I've been lucky that way, so I can't think of anyone.
Okay.
I got to meet Nelson Mandela. That was huge for me. So I've gotten to meet some really important people.
Beautiful. So last question. What is your secret of happiness?
I think, happiness can be a very elusive thing. I think we ebb and flow with happiness. And I've learned that when I'm feeling happy, to cherish that time. Because another valley is just around the corner that we all have to work our way through. That's what life is all about. So my secret is cherishing when I feel happy and never forgetting what it feels like.
Beautiful. Last thing, if you could look in the camera and do a peace sign for me. My sign off is it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out. Thank you so much for the interview and the words of wisdom. And I also should have asked you what you use for skincare because you look fabulous.
Aww.
You do look
Thank
ageless.
you.
But thank you so much. Thank you.
And you can hear more of my red carpet interviews with people like John Travolta and Lieutenant Uhura and Priscilla Presley. So don't go away. We'll be right back with more of Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah, here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind.
back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube. Yes, my YouTube channel, where you just got to see some red carpet interviews. And if you free subscribe, every morning at 8 a.m., you will get an alert so that you won't miss this show every weekday morning at 8 a.m. right after Stephanie Miller. And the Asian Oprah giveaway today is a free audiobook copy of my best-selling book, #1 on Amazon, #4 on Denver Post. Take my 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are. So the first 8 people to go on my website, drmarissa.life, and put in the pop-up email, Asian Oprah giveaway, will get a promo code to download this book where I'm giving you free Happy 88 tools to feel better right now. So without further ado, I promised you this fabulous spotlight interview with Geri, Jewell, the birthday girl. And of course, I'm going to have to sing a little. Happy birthday, dear Geri, Jewell, you wonderful, one of a kind, wonderful. Happy birthday to you. And without further ado, please enjoy.
She's the first actress with a disability to be cast in a series role. Geri Jewell recreates her role in the film version of the HBO hit series Deadwood and appears along with star-studded cast of Joey Travolta, who's John's older brother, Carol of the Bells, featuring 70% of a crew and cast with disabilities. I met her 7 years ago, sharing a stage speaking at the California Women's Conference, and she looks exactly the same. Oh. And yes, and so please welcome to my studio in person, Geri Jewell.
Thank you. Finally.
I honestly thought that I had you on already, and
we talked about it.
Okay, so we did talk about it. But now it's a reality, and you are here, and I'm so grateful. You are one of my favorite people on the planet, and I don't say that very lightly. I don't say that to everybody. In fact, it's been a little while, but the reason why is you are the poster child of I can do it. I mean, really. Let's go back. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Geri Jewell has cerebral palsy.
Cerebral palsy.
Yes, and you've had it since what age?
Birth.
Since birth. And did your mom or dad know before you were born that you had?
No.
So you were born, they diagnosed you at what age?
18.
18 months.
Yep.
Yeah. She noticed your mom?
Yeah, she knew intuitively that there was something wrong because I had 2 older brothers and I wasn't developing as quickly. And my mom and dad sacrificed a lot. They picked up their whole home base in Buffalo, New York and moved to California to Lancaster to get me diagnosed at UCLA Medical Center.
And then you got diagnosed, and then you grew up. Did you know, what age did you know that you were different?
Let's put it this way. I always knew I was different, but I didn't become aware of how different until high school.
And then people made fun of you.
Well, that was always the case. It wasn't that. It was that I didn't get asked out on dates or prom or football games, so it was very different.
And then you did not crawl under the covers and stay there. It seemed to develop in you a burning desire to do something.
Well, I decided that I wanted to be a comedic actress probably at age 12 or 13.
Why?
Because for one reason, I had a pen-pal relationship with Carol Burnett. And I told her that I loved the fact that people were laughing with her, not at her. And my dream was to do what she did someday. And she always wrote me back, and she told me never to quit, to get into acting in every capacity. She said there was no guarantee that I would become professional. She said there's no guarantees in life, period. The important thing is to put out the effort and to try, because no one knows what they can do unless they try. So Carol Burnett was a big initial inspiration for me. Wow. Absolutely.
That's amazing. Are you still
Oh,
in
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's actually performing at one of my new show sponsors.
Is she?
She's going to be at the Savant Theater. So I think we should go.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, I'll get you some tickets.
Okay.
I'm sure you can get your own tickets, but
I would love to be your guest.
Yeah, I would love that. So she believed in you.
Yes.
She never said, well, she
never
said,
it was interesting because by the time I got to high school and college, of course, I was put into state rehabilitation's hands, and I told them that's what I wanted to do. And they said, no, it's unrealistic. There are no jobs for people like you in the entertainment industry. You need to get realistic. And and my answer was always, but Carol Burnett said I couldn't.
Really good. Way to hold him back. I mean, way to name drop. That was a good name drop. If you're gonna name drop, you might as well use someone that everybody knows.
And the funny thing is, I was so young for my age. I mean, emotionally, I didn't catch up until years later.
Okay.
But every time I got in a scuffle with rehab, dear Carol Burnett.
That's hilarious. So I'm gonna go there because you brought up the na rehab. So let's go there for a second. So what happened? You had some success, right?
I did.
You had huge amounts of success. Norman Lear cast you. Facts of Life. You're like a main character.
Yes.
You're in the Guinness World Book of Records, I'm sure, as the first woman with a
first woman with a disability and first person with a visible disability.
Right, to be playing on major network.
Yes.
Facts of Life. How many seasons?
4.
4 seasons. It seems weird because it seems like more than that. The early shows, because I had Marianne from Gilligan's Island, Dawn Wells on the show, right? And you would think Gilligan's Island had played for at least 10 years. 3 seasons, that's it. Isn't that weird?
Wow.
And that's like an iconic... Right?
It is.
Right? Everybody knows that. So you got cast. You did 6 seasons. You did them
4.
well. 4
Don't
seasons.
exaggerate.
How big was it? So we're not going there. So 4 seasons, and then what cut up with you?
What cut off?
What cut up with you that you had to go to rehab?
Oh, you mean drug rehab?
Yeah.
I didn't go to drug rehab until 1999 after spinal cord surgery. I had neck surgery from C1 to C7, my whole neck. That's why I can't turn my head left or right, because it's 45% titanium, 6 screws, and 2 plates.
Is that from...
It's a combination of wearing down from CP, because if you look at my earlier performances, my head moved a lot.
Okay.
And so the head movement is going to really wear down those bones and muscles. And then on top of that, I was in so much pain, so much neck pain for years, that I did take a lot of drugs to deal with that, with the physical pain in the neck and also emotional pain of surviving Hollywood, I guess.
Okay.
So it was a combination of both.
Okay.
And when I had neck surgery, of course they're going to put you even on heavier drugs.
Right.
And so I made that decision on my own. It was 30 days. 30 days.
It was a combination Hollywood pain. So Hollywood pain of
well,
rejection.
No, not so much rejection. You have to understand, I came out of a very sheltered environment in special ed, and I didn't know that there were people that lied, wolves in sheepskin. That was a rude awakening to someone like me.
Sure.
Because I always saw the good in everybody.
And you still do.
I still do.
Yeah.
And my first manager when I was on Fact of Life basically embezzled all my money. I was broke. And because I was so sheltered, I didn't have a lot of experience, interaction with dating or anything, and all of a sudden I'm known by millions. Who do you trust?
Right.
It was a very hard road, even though I was emotionally an adult when I got Fact of Life. I was 23.
Okay.
But emotionally, I was probably 12.
Okay.
So I can relate to child stars very easily, because even though I was chronologically an adult, I was emotionally a child star.
Interesting. Is there a solution to that, do you think? Because I've had Corey Feldman on, and he talks about that too.
Yeah.
How do you trust? And that movie Honey Boy that's out right now. Right?
Exactly.
Same thing.
Yep.
So advice?
Don't be afraid to ask others for their opinion. Don't be so... I'm an adult. I can make my own decision. I can do it. It's okay to ask for help.
Good point. And if you're just tuned in and you're wondering who I am speaking to live in studio, Geri Jewell gets Dr. Marissa's beneficial presence on the planet. Geri Jewell is the first woman, actually she's the first actress, period, actor, right, male or female, to be cast in a major network, and then not just Facts of Life. You've been on Deadwood too.
Yes.
Correct? For how many seasons?
It was 3 seasons.
Don't exaggerate.
And then I just did the Deadwood movie.
And then you just did the Deadwood movie. When's that coming out?
That came out.
It did?
It aired on HBO in May.
HBO, that's why.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, I saw the T-shirt picture. I like that. Yeah. And then you're coming out with another movie. Has it come out?
Carol of the Bells.
Carol of the Bells.
It's already out.
It's already out on...
It's showing in theaters. It's showing in San Diego right now.
It is. Okay. And that is an amazing movie. I first wanted you on. I didn't want to share you with anyone else. But I do want to have another show where I bring on Joey Travolta, John's older brother, who it's his movie, right?
Yes, it is.
And then 70% of cast and crew are disabled.
Yes.
In some form or the other. And I think that is unbelievable. And the picture's coming out now. There's inspiration comes in all abilities. Is that what it says? That's so cool. Did you have fun doing that?
I did. I'm only in one scene.
Okay.
And it was a scene with R.J. Mitty, who I know in life. He has cerebral palsy from Breaking Bad.
Okay.
So it was an opportunity to work with him for the first time. And I said to Joey Travolta, I said, yeah, I like the role, but what are the odds of somebody with cerebral palsy bumping into somebody with cerebral palsy in a church on Christmas Eve and sitting next to each other? And he laughed. He goes, well, it can happen, I know, but the odds are very slim. I said, I don't buy it. And he said, so you don't want to do the role? And I said, no, I'll do the role, but I won't have cerebral palsy. And he said, well, how are you going to hide it? And I said, make me a nun.
Did he do it?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's so funny.
I said, put me in a habit, and I'll try not to move a lot.
That is so funny.
And, it's a precious little role for me. And what you don't know, and you probably met her at the California Women's Conference. Did you get to meet my sister Gloria?
Yes, I did.
Well,
in the green room.
She passed 2.5 years ago, and it has been the most traumatic death that I've ever had to go through in my whole life.
So sorry.
And so I asked Joey if he would name my character Sister Gloria after my sister. And so it's a very special role for me.
Oh, she's here. I feel her.
Yes, she is, isn't
She's
she?
here. She's here.
Yep.
I remember her very well because she still loves you.
Thank you.
But I saw that love so. I mean,
Yep.
she really.
So even though we were 3 years apart, we were closer than most twins.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh. So this show is dedicated to Gloria.
The role.
The role.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
it. Sister Gloria.
Sister Gloria. And also another person who's on the other side with Gloria now, which is...
Oh, Carol Spenny.
Yeah, Big Bird.
Big Bird.
Yeah. So, I have this very, very firm belief that when there really is no death, it's transition.
I agree.
And so they're on the other side with my dad.
Oh,
And my dog Destiny and Dr. Jimmy and Dr. Carl and all the people, Michael, my best friend from grad school, and they're all loving us from over there.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And I paid tribute to Carol yesterday on Facebook.
Oh, you did?
I said, if happy, yellow big birds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
How beautiful is that?
Rest in peace, Carol Spenny.
Oh, that's so, and isn't that weird? I didn't know you did that. And I've been running promos with you
And
with that
Big Bird.
picture.
Oh, my God.
And I had no idea. And I had no idea. I mean, how many there's thousands of pictures on you on Images, and which one do I pick out?
It's Carol. It's Carol speaking to me saying, I'm here. He was an earth angel. He really was, and I was so blessed to know him, to work with him.
Very lucky you are.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't get that chance. But I've got a little, I had a dream, and this is just for you. So I had a dream, and I went and flew into heaven, like the bluebird, and I saw my dad and all the people that I love sitting around a big screen TV. And I flew in closer, and I'm like, what are they doing? And they're all in heaven, and they're sitting, and they're watching, and every once in a while they go, yay! And then they go back to watching. And I flew in. I'm like, what the heck are they watching, right? So your sister is now in that same group, in the big screen TV, and she's watching, and guess what she's watching? Your life right now. And every time something good happens, she goes, yay!
Oh.
Isn't that a beautiful dream that I had?
Wow, yes.
Yes. So she's now meeting my dad, and they're sitting and they're watching.
Yay!
And I love the fact that this is the season of joy when
It is.
we remember those who've passed. But I'm going to give like my 28-second cajole you into leaving your holiday blues. Because the one thing that people do during the holidays is they forget that people had more than just that last breath, right? And they get sad about missing. But the reality is they had a huge life. And there's so many wonderful things you can remember, not just that they passed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that to you, that
Thank
this
you.
season, she's there cheering you on.
I know she is.
Isn't that great?
I feel her daily.
I'm sure you do. She's there daily. You cannot, death can't separate the love that you guys had. So thank you for sharing her with me.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're taking a breath.
And what are we going to do with our next breath?
We are going to talk about your favorite moments in life that you've had. Favorite moments in life. You have lived, you have a book, right?
Yes.
And you highlighted in that book. What are some things in that book that I would be surprised to know about you?
Oh, gosh. There's so many. I would say one of my favorite memorable experiences in life was when I did I Love Liberty for Norman Lear. It was in 1982, and at the LA Convention Center, there was 25,000 people in the audience that night. And it was huge celebrities, Christopher Reeve, Mary Tyler Moore,
Nice.
Patty Duke, John Wayne, Barbara Streisand. And
How
I
old
was
were
a
you?
newbie.
You were a newbie, you were 20-something.
Yeah, but Norman Lear wanted me to play the American disabled person. And I walked up 6 flights of steps to my place on crutches, to look more disabled.
Right. I don't think I've ever heard that said. I did that to look more disabled. Only you, Geri. Only you.
And I stood center stage, went into a comedy routine. 25,000 people did not laugh. They were staring at me. And I thought, oh, my God, this is a really, really short career. And I thought it was over at that point. And I dropped the crutches on the stage. I had tears in my eyes. And I said, you know what? I need help real bad. Norman Lear came running down from the control booth. He came up on stage. He thought that I was having a nervous breakdown.
Oh, my gosh.
That he had given me too much responsibility too early, too young. And he's holding me in his arms in front of 25,000 people.
No.
And he said, are you okay? And I backed him up and I put my hand on his shoulder. I said, Norman, I'm fine, but the material sucks. And
This is live.
He said, yeah, it was live. No, thank God it was going to be in the 11th hour. What network was it? I think it was ABC. They decided to air a movie, and it aired the following week. It would have been live.
Oh, my
thank God.
Yeah.
And he backed me up. He said, Geri, read my lips. Your mic isn't on. That's why they weren't laughing. They couldn't hear anything I said.
Oh.
And he put his arms around me and he turned me around on stage and he said, how many people out there want to give this girl a second chance? And they gave me a standing ovation.
Oh.
And so I did the whole routine again a second time.
And they all laughed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got another two standing ovations.
Hey, you do what you got to tell the director his material sucks, and then you get 2 standing ovations. What the heck? Right?
Yes.
Only you. Only you. Only you. Yeah, like, this is what I can't, you are, I've been speaking with another inspiring woman. I mentioned her to you on the way up, and I want you two to meet, is Jessica Cox, who was born without arms. And it just kills me, or it absolutely, I have no patience for anyone who says, I can't do that, or it's too hard, or I don't want to try, or what if people laugh at me, or, I can't. And I think of you, and I think of Jessica. You have cerebral palsy. She has no arms. You grow up in rehabilitation in state whatever that tells you can't do that, and you just do it anyways. Like, where does that come from?
For me, I think it comes from, I'm an old soul.
Mm-hmm.
And I came into the world to do something. Regardless of the circumstances, I'm going to do what I came into the world to do. And I firmly believe that. And my mom was a big part of my development. And I think she always said, Geri, there's a whole world out there, and the sky is the limit.
And now you know why I just absolutely am honored and blessed to know and call Geri Jewell a friend. She's really one of a kind, wonderful. And if you want the rest of that interview, please do go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe there, and you will enjoy it. And that's it for today's scintillating, thank God it's Friday, although I want you to treat every day like Friday show. I'll be here next Monday, as usual, every weekday at 8 a.m., splattering more hope and happiness on you. But in the meantime, remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace, and have the best weekend ever.